All right, here with my friend and fellow coach, Andy Wales. I asked Andy if he would do a video. Andy's just such a rock around here, and I mean, he is just such a foundation of Journey. He's exactly why we do what we do. Andy, I mean, you came in here, you were diabetic,
Yep.
right? And you had over 50 pounds that you wanted to lose.
Yep.
And then you were able to get off that weight, actually
Yep.
about 60 pounds.
Lost 60 pounds and reversed type 2 diabetes. It's gone.
Yeah. And then you've been teaching for how many years at that time?
I was a teacher for 35 years
Yeah.
and now retired.
Yeah.
Now a Journey coach.
Right, but you were due for retirement and you said, what do I want to do with my retirement? And he says, I want to help people have the same transformation that I've had, right? Because it feels so good, you want to give it away, right? It's like, man, you don't have to be diabetic, right? In some cases. So let me ask you, we're talking about DEKA today, and Andy's been a DEKA maniac. Oh my God, this is my 3 a.m. Fellow grandpa. We're grandpas, so we call it our grandfathers of fitness at 3 a.m. workout. But before becoming a DEKA maniac, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Why did you do your first DEKA?
So the first time I did a DEKA, I mean, I saw the advertisements and I thought, well, it's going to cost more and I don't know if I really need that. This is enough. I think right here what I'm doing is enough. But Kristen got a year's membership and it happened to come with it, a DEKA event, a certificate or a coupon. So I said, well, it's free. I don't want it to go to waste, so I'll just do it. And so I show up for this event, and my coach, referee at the event is Jeremy Purifoy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm starting to go through the stations, and I'm having a revelation of this is the power of encouragement of a coach. And even as I'm doing the event, I'm thinking, this is so amazing, because here's a person standing there right with me, said, okay, you got to do 20 of these. You can rest if you need to. You can get a drink of water if you need to. You can put those weights down if you need to. But he said, you're going to do 20. And that's, so and then I said, okay, you got 10 more. Okay, you got 5 more. Just having someone right there with you, it pushes you and it encourages you, and you think, okay, I got 5 more. And I thought, as I'm doing this event, not just even about the event, I mean, this is what I want to be like in my life as a teacher or a coach or a dad, or, I want to be that kind of person. So, I mean, it just really did inspire me. And so I get to the end of this event, and I was just starting to get back into shape. I was not in great shape. And I had 2 thoughts at the end. The first thought is, that is the hardest thing I have ever done. And my second thought was, I can't wait to do it again. Can I do it right now? I'll do it again right now if they let me. It was the adrenaline rush is so great. And so my first time I did it, my time was 24 something, which now I've got my baseline. So I thought, well, it comes up again. I said, I want to beat that time. So the second time was 22 minutes. I said, okay, I feel better. And it's having those something to push for. And then the next time was 20 minutes. So each time I'm doing it, I'm shaving 2 minutes off. Yeah. So then I had my best time ever was 1949, I think. And then I had a setback with my knee. So now I've gone back, but I'm working my way back. So it's having something, a performance goal, not just a weight loss goal, not just but it's not just negative, it's positive, having something positive to shoot for,
Yeah, really good. And you mentioned, shaving 5 minutes off your time. We've talked a little bit about the idea that, you come in, and if you're 60 pounds overweight and you're diabetic, I got to believe that you're experiencing low energy, your mobility is not as good. There's a lot of just different ways that you're feeling that you were able to conquer and feel drastically different. Contrast with me a little bit how you felt when you did it in 24 minutes, and as you steadily progress, I mean, there's a certain type of conditioning and benefits that you're experiencing as you're able to measure your fitness in that way. What did you notice as far as the differences in how you were feeling to do 5 minutes is a lot in an event to shave off.
I'd say the biggest thing for me was improving my cardio. And I think if you go to Journey Fitness, you can do this DEKA. I mean, this individual exercises will not be a problem. And I think almost anyone could do each station. Now, it may take a very long time, but it's doable. But for me, it was the cardio of like one after another, after another, after another. So pushing that cardiovascular fitness, that was the biggest thing for me, training or getting better.
And how, you know, because as we get older, I recently went for a stress test, you know. I'm over 40, and I went to the doctors, and I was just telling him about a feeling I was having. He said, "Oh, you might need a stress test." And I start panicking. I'm like, what's that mean? I could have something going on with my heart? You know, like, it's scary. How does that make you feel to know that you have such great cardiorespiratory endurance?
I feel better than I did in my 20s. And sometimes we're in the gym, we're kidding around and having fun, and I'll say, I feel like a kid again, except for the arthritis. Honestly, except for the, you know, aches and pains that come with aging, I really do feel better than I did when I was in my 20s. You know, it's you know, and others have talked about this, that the endorphins, like you know, those feel good hormones your body releases through exercise.
Yeah. I mean, you know, tell them the slogan that you came up with for the Grandpa Training Group, which includes our buddy Scott.
So we are the grandfathers of fitness. We know we work out like old men. Try to keep up.
I think that's great. I think that's great because the truth is, there are many people that are 30 that are actually in the condition of being 60.
Yeah.
However, there are people that are 60 that are in the condition of, you know, people that should be in the condition.
I have friends 10 years older than me that I can't keep up with, you know, and you feel pretty good when you finish one of these events and somebody in their 20s is puking, you know.
Right, yeah.
You're like, oh, I didn't do so bad.
And it gives you a confidence, a security, and just knowing, you know, I'm really healthy, I'm going to be around for a while for my family. You know, those are good things. So you happen to just kind of, it sounded like you almost did it based on budget. You know, you're like, all right, well, we got it. Hey, let's do it. And then you learned something along the way that was really important. And for what you've learned and experienced in your journey, what would you tell people about doing DEKA? Like, what does it mean to you, and why should they do it?
So I'd say, I mean, just fitness in general, as we often say, it's not an expense, it's an investment. And so if I were to say, what would it be worth it to me, if you'd asked me 2 years ago, what would it be worth it to lose 60 pounds, to feel 30 years younger, to reverse diabetes, what would that be worth? I mean, you can't put a price on the worth. And it's the same with this. It's an investment in yourself. It's not just, it's not a money-making scheme. It really is a valuable experience, and it's worth every penny to have. I mean, just a test, you know, statistically, scientifically, they say that if you have a frequent test of your fitness, you will be more faithful to your fitness regimen. Because you're working for something. It's not just like, oh, here I am again, it's Monday, you know, like going through the motions. You think, no, I have a goal, and it's to get my time down to 19 minutes even. Like, you know, that's my next goal. So I want to do it.
What would it be worth? You know, to be honest with you, that makes me a little emotional thinking about it. My stepfather basically died of diabetes. We all have a choice every day, and his answer was to still eat what he wanted and do very little exercise, and eventually he needed a foot amputated, and then he was amputated to his knee on one side, and then he had 2 legs that were amputated, and he spent like the last 10 years of his life mostly confined to a VA hospital bed. And like, that's the difference in the choice we're making. When you say, like, what is the value? Well, I mean, if you could compare and contrast those, you know, that's a very important thing, you know. Like, you know, there's a good quote, and it says, he who has his health has 1,000 dreams, and he who does not has but one, right? And so, like, now you have 1,000 dreams. You're like, hey, let's go climb a mountain, let's go do this, right? But if you let your health go, your only dream is to get your health back, right? And you would give anything for it. So having an accountability of, you know, hey, I'm going to get better at DEKA, and I'm going to train for it. It's good.
Now the statistics, you may remember off the top of your head, how many Americans have diabetes or pre-diabetes. The number is huge.
Staggering.
It's huge, and we don't have to wait until we've been diagnosed to know that this American lifestyle of sedentary living and terrible eating is going to take us to a bad place. We do not have to wait till the doctor hands you, okay, if you don't do something, you know, it's going to end very badly. So, I mean, it's very important to make some changes, you know.
Yeah, don't wait. That's a good message. You know, you don't have to be great to start, but you do have to start to be great, right? That's Zig Ziglar. And I thought you were almost getting poetic earlier when you were, to me, you were reminding me of that Don't Quit poem. You're like, you know, you can rest, you just can't quit, right? That's like what you were experiencing with Jeremy. That's what he told you. And that's what we want people to know. Even if you come to Journey for a regular workout, you know, take a break when you need to, even though it's rotated around the room according to the clock. The clock's not in charge, you are. You know, you rest if you need to. You want a cold towel, have a sip of water. But, you know, you just got to start, and then you just got to not quit. And it's amazing what can happen.
Yeah. It's a lot. I would say one last thing. It's a lot of fun. And the joy, I mean, you know, I went from doing it to being a volunteer referee / coach to, you know, to, you know, being very involved. But I mean, it's a celebration of everyone's fitness, not just the rock star, you know, super athlete, but for the person who was very reluctant to do it and then just, you know, maybe it took them an hour. It doesn't matter. I mean, for them, it's a triumph. And they're in tears and I'm in tears because I see the look on their face. So it's a great event, and really I would recommend it for anyone to come on out, celebrate everyone's fitness with us. We need volunteers to help, you know, the different stations, clean up. It takes a village or to do it. Yeah. You know?
No, that's a great message in itself. You know, it's just that, you know, you can even volunteer your first time just to kind of observe it. You know, that's some way to be involved. You know, the other thing I want to do as we close out is just say thank you. You know, Andy, you've taken, I think that obviously as an art teacher, you're teaching art, and what you've done is you've come in here and you've transferred, you've remained a teacher, and now you're teaching fitness, and you're teaching people about DEKA, and you're still trying to make it fun in the same way as you've made it fun for your students, right? We put the fun and functional fitness at Journey, that's our slogan. You do such a great job at that, and you know, I mean, you've really taken charge at DEKA and just shown people that, hey, come on, you can do it, and that's what coaches do. We believe in you more than you believe in yourself, right? And that's our job. And Andy, you do so well at that. So thank you, appreciate it. All right, hey.